Trubor nakaslem jong unongsan hima.
We had a meeting today starting at 3 o'clock, and this is the second round of consultation we had in regards to certain aspects of the amendment to the 6th schedule, which had been parliamentary committee had given its suggestions and recommendations on it, based on which Government of India has asked the state government and the district council's opinions and suggestions on those particular issues to be given. Last week we had met and we had initiated the discussion. Post that, the CEMs and the district councils had meetings with our officials as well as with the Advocate General. And today was the concluding meeting to finally give the recommendations from our side to Government of India on the different points that were mentioned by the Parliamentary Committee on the 6th Schedule Amendment. The first issue was regarding the issue of unrepresentative tribes in the nominated seats. So we as state government and as district councils have recommended that the word unrepresented tribes must be removed. So therefore, the word unrepresented tribes should not be there, and accordingly suggestions will be made to Government of India on that aspect. Number two was regarding the number of seats, and we felt that, and so did Government of India also feel, that there should be a uniformity when the suggestions are given. Therefore, keeping that aspect in mind, we have decided to recommend that the 3 district councils shall have not more than 40 members each. The 3 district councils shall not have more than 40 members each and shall not have more than 4 nominated members. So total will be 40 maximum and nominated will be 4 maximum, which is similar to how it was earlier in the original 6th schedule, where the numbers was kept 30 and the maximum nominated members was maximum 4. So similarly, we have said that it will be maximum 40 with maximum nomination of 4. Any permutation combination will accordingly be will be issued by the governor on the recommendation and suggestions given by the cabinet, and of course in consultation with the district councils. So therefore, if a particular district council would like to have, based on the population, 36 members elected and 4 nominated, then that is what will be recommended for that particular council, and so forth. If other councils want to remain at 29 plus 1, then they can also remain at 29 plus 1. But it cannot be more than 40, and nomination cannot be more than 4. So this is in line with the original 6th schedule that was initially passed in 1952, is it? Yeah, 52. That was the second aspect. The third aspect was regarding the village councils and the implementation or the election in the village councils also. Now, while I go into this, let me clarify the background of how we are moving forward. You have to remember and realize that the 6th schedule amendment is being done from all aspects, whether it is the anti-defection law, whether it is Article 280 for the Finance Commission and finance being given directly to the district councils, or other aspects of the district council like number of seats. So all this is being done in a very holistic manner. We have to also remember that in the Government of India's scope of things, they have no intention to affect the customs and practices of the people of the states and the district councils. And in fact, it has been mentioned categorically by the Parliamentary Committee also that customs practices, however, sacrosanct they may be, should not override democratic principles, and therefore the overall plan is to ensure that there's a balance between the development aspect as well as the aspect of the traditional customs and practices of the people. As a committee with the district councils and the state is to ensure that we balance these two aspects. The Government of India will amend the constitution and give financial powers or financial support to the district councils, but they will require that certain democratic process should also be followed. So therefore, we have kept in our agenda today that the Garo Hills area, which has got Nokmas as traditional heads who handle and take care of more of the land issues and the traditional aspects and customs of the people, traditional laws, those will continue as they are, and they should continue. And in para 3 of the district council, it is clearly mentioned that the district councils will appoint the headmen and the chiefs, and that aspect, which includes Nokmas of course, that aspect should continue. But at the same time, from the development point of view, in order to ensure that the Finance Commission's monies and the funds come in and schemes implemented, village council elections and village councils will be elected also. So this recommendation will be given, but the provisions of land and the laws of the land and land holdings and reforms, these aspects will remain with the district council and the Nokmas and will not be a part of the village council. Similarly, in Khasi Hills and Jente Hills, the recommendation was given that the village Darbars should continue. They should not be village councils. And in the village Darbars, the elections will be held, and the different procedures in which the election should be held will be defined as per para 2A of the amended Act, and those provisions are already there in it, and in that provision the district councils will have sufficient powers to work out the procedure in which those elections will be held. But the village Darbars, as I said, will continue. The election also will be there, but the election will be as per the prescribed norms, which is prescribed in para 2A, as well as which mentions that the district councils will have the necessary powers to frame the procedure in which elections will be conducted. The fourth point was regarding the municipal councils, and in that it was decided that the municipal councils as a subject will continue in the jurisdiction of the state, and we will recommend that it should not be mentioned in the amended constitution, amended act, the bill of the 6th schedule amendment, but as per discussions with respective district councils, subjects and certain areas of governance even within the municipal board can be worked out between the councils. So for example, in Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, there has been a suggestion and there has been a discussion that certain aspects of the municipal council should also be worked out with the town committees, and those aspects will be looked into to find out the balance between the council and the town committees and the municipal board. But our recommendation will be that the municipal councils should not be included in the amended version of the 6th schedule that is there. So these were the 4 decisions that were taken today. The rest of the decisions, as you are aware, that we are more or less agreeable to most of the other recommendations that have been given. And we want this amendment to go through because this amendment will strengthen the councils, will allow anti-defection law to come in, will allow funding to come in, which will be financially beneficial for the district councils. So before I number, and therefore it will not be appropriate for me to mention those right now, because those numbers are something that the district councils will once again sit with their committees. But what is important to remember is 2 things. First is that we can't have different numbers when it comes to constitutional amendment. So therefore there has to be a uniformity in the proposal that we give. And therefore we took a line from the existing 6th schedule which says that you can have a not more than 40. So therefore if any of the councils would like to have 30, 32, 35, 36, they can have those numbers. But it has to be not more than 40. And number two, as many numbers that they have, it cannot go beyond 40, but out of this 40, not more than 4 can be nominated members. So if a particular council wants to nominate only 1, 2 or 3, then accordingly in the necessary policies will be created, and in consultation with the district councils, the state cabinet will propose to the governor, who will then notify that particular numbers in the district councils.
Nominated members for not more than 4, and another decision we have taken that we have recommended that 50% should be from women.
Of the nominated members.
Of the nominated members.
So if their district councils are going to nominate 4, then 2 should be women and 2 should be men, and if there are 2, then 1 should be women and 1 should be a man. From the state government and from the council, it is a point that is not something that we are agreeable to, and therefore we have mentioned it earlier in the meeting that was held with the Chief Secretary and the Home Secretary level. And we have once again reiterated the decision, and that decision we are communicating to Government of India that this, the word unrepresentative tribes should not be there. These things cannot be based on presumptions that it may not happen, may happen. Let us do our work. We have now today taken this decision, and we're going to put this representation to the Government of India, and we are hopeful that Government of India will accept this recommendation that we give.
We have to form the State Election Commission also. So the provision has given to us that we will formulate all the rules or the qualification, everything. It depends on the district council.
Basically, the election process, you're right, was always there, a democratic process. It's really about giving it a shape. It's about giving it a shape, giving it a structure, giving it a system that is going to be slightly more uniform across the particular district council. So that aspect of how it will be done, what is the process, procedure, and how they will make it uniform, so that it can be done in a proper manner, that the district councils have the power under para 12 2A of 2A1 or 2A1 and 2A2 of the amended act that is being proposed, which mentions clearly the powers are going to be live with the district councils. So really what you're saying, you actually have replied the question yourself, that elections are always been there, but it's just that it has not been done in a proper format or structure. It has been done in a more flexible manner depending on how the Dorbars would like to. So this will just give it a structure. That's what it is. So let me put it in a very simple word. It's a question of nomenclature. There's not going to be much of a difference, you're right. But since the people in Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills have been used to a village Dorbar, that word has always been something that people have related to. We feel that it will give a sense of comfort and a sense of continuity, and a sense that that the system is continuing, old system is continuing. So technically it will give that comfort, and that's why we would want and suggested that the village Dorbar word should continue. And election process already happens there. It's just that it will be structured in a better manner. In Garo Hills, it's always been a Nokma. And a Nokma has been an individual normally. So therefore, the system of a village Dorbar or a council has not existed there yet. So therefore, there the people have been more inclined, or not inclined I should say, but more connected with the word council, village council, because there's a village employment council that is already there. And there's a certain process of election that already takes place. So again, in the interest of continuity, the people are more used to the word village council, and therefore introducing a word village Dorbar there would again kind of shift away from that continuity aspect. So it's really about the nomenclature more than anything else, and a sense of continuity for the common people people of the particular region. Flexibility to decide, but at least in terms of an amendment, the uniformity that not more than 40 will be there. Otherwise, if we have different numbers in the constitutional amendment, it will look a bit complicated. So that's the whole idea. On board with it, and then we will send it. So it may take a few days. But again, please do remember that these are the suggestions that we're giving, recommendations we're giving. Beyond this, we will have to move to Delhi. We'll have to follow up on these recommendations, and we are hopeful that Government of India will accept these recommendations, suggestions given by us. So that's of course a point also to note, that these are points that we have made, and now we are going to push it forward, and we'll hope that Delhi will accept these recommendations.